Good day, everyone. There is a sound in the air, a shift in the wind. Something is coming, and it's coming fast. The question is not if it will come, but when. The greater question is, will you be ready? We are living in a time of acceleration. Things that once took decades now happen in months. Technology is racing. Opportunities are speeding by. Prophetic times are unfolding, and doors are opening. But only for those who are prepared. Let me tell you something powerful. The future does not wait for the unprepared. You don't prepare in the moment of opportunity. You prepare before it. Champions don't train in the ring. They train in the dark when no one is watching. Then, when the spotlight comes, they are ready. Many people are praying for breakthroughs. They're waiting for promotion. They're asking for influence, wealth, relationships, destiny. But destiny doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to preparation. Be ready, it's coming fast. There's a vision with your name on it. There's a position aligned for your skill. But if you're not developed, disciplined, and discerning, it will pass you by and find someone else who was. Preparation is the womb of manifestation. Look at nature. Before the rain falls, the clouds gather. Before the harvest comes, the soil is worked. Before birth, there is pregnancy. Preparation is not punishment. It's proof that something is coming. So sharpen your mind, strengthen your spirit, discipline your habits, guard your environment, clean your closet, make room for what's on the way. This is not the time to be distracted, discouraged, or disengaged. The wave is rising, and only those who are positioned will ride it. Everyone else will drown in what they were not ready for. Hear this: sudden shifts are always preceded by silent seasons. So don't waste your silent season. Use it to prepare. The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. Be ready. It's coming fast. Everyone wants promotion. Everyone wants to rise higher. Whether it's in business, ministry, education, influence, or even in personal life, the desire to ascend is built into the human spirit. That desire is not wrong. It's a reflection of purpose. But while many chase promotion, few understand what it requires. And fewer still are truly prepared for it. The principle is simple but profound. Preparation always precedes promotion. There are no shortcuts in destiny. Promotion is not a miracle. It is not magic. It is not even simply favor. Promotion is a result, a consequence of preparation aligning with opportunity. Think of a seed. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. That seed has to be buried. It has to die to its former state. It has to be nurtured, watered, exposed to the sun, and protected from the storm. For weeks, even months, nothing may seem to happen above the surface. But deep below, transformation is occurring. Roots are growing. Structure is being established. Why? Because no tree can rise in public that hasn't first developed in private. It is the same with people. The world does not reward potential. It rewards productivity. And productivity comes from preparation. So if you are praying for God to promote you or hoping for life to elevate you, you must also ask yourself, am I prepared not for the dream, everyone loves the dream, but for the weight that comes with it? Every level of promotion comes with a new level of pressure. More responsibility, more eyes watching you, more expectations, more complex decisions, and here's the truth. If you are not prepared for it, promotion will not bless you. It will break you. We live in a generation obsessed with speed. Everyone wants things fast, fast success, fast influence, fast money, but real success is never microwave. It is slow cooked, because process is protection. The season of preparation is not God delaying you. It is God developing you. You are not being held back. You are being built up. You must learn to embrace the season that hides you, not because you are being punished, but because you are being prepared. The same way a blacksmith hides the sword in the fire to strengthen its metal, life often places you in intense seasons to harden your spirit, to shape your mindset, to eliminate excuses, to polish your character. That fire is not meant to burn you. It's meant to prepare you for the battlefield. Look at every major figure who was ever promoted in history. Without exception, their public elevation was preceded by private preparation. Joseph had to go through the pit and the prison before he reached the palace. David had to tend sheep fight lions, and play the harp in isolation before he ever stood before Goliath. Even great leaders of industry today spent years building in obscurity, studying, failing, learning before their success became visible. You see the crown, but you don't see the cave. You see the spotlight, but you don't see the sweat. And if you try to skip the cave, you'll never carry the crown with integrity. The worst thing in life is to arrive at a place you're not ready for. The weight will crush you. Your gift may get you into the room, but it's your preparation that will keep you there. That's why you must train when no one is watching, study when no one is asking, build when no one is praising, serve when no one is applauding, because your preparation is your seed for promotion. Some people think promotion is about who you know. That can help, but the truth is, even if you are recommended to a room, you still have to perform once you get there. If you're not ready, relationships can't save you. Preparation is what allows you to stand confidently when the opportunity finally knocks. You must stop praying for elevation you're not prepared to sustain. The door you want to open requires a version of you that still has to be developed. So don't waste your time begging for the door. Use your time becoming the person who can own the room once the door opens. The season of preparation is the greatest gift you will ever receive. Use it. Maximize it. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. God never promotes what hasn't first been tested, and life will not trust you with more until you prove faithful with less. It's not a matter of if promotion will come, it will come, but only when you are ready, so stop rushing the process. Trust it, build in silence, grow in the dark, become the kind of person success won't destroy. Because when the moment comes, and it will, the prepared will rise while the unprepared will watch it pass them by. Promotion is not the goal, preparation is, because promotion is the natural result of preparation. If you get ready, you won't have to chase success. It will find you because preparation always precedes promotion. There's a powerful truth that many people overlook in life. Provision does not chase people, it chases purpose. Provision does not follow emotion, it does not follow need, it does not even follow prayer alone, it follows purpose. Wherever there is a clear purpose, provision will show up to support it. Look around you. Every created thing has a purpose, and every purpose has what it needs to fulfill its assignment. The bird does not worry about flying, it was built to fly. The fish never takes swimming lessons, it was born to swim. The sun does not need to borrow light, it generates its own. Even nature understands that once purpose is known, provision is guaranteed. The same is true for you. The resources you're waiting for, the opportunities you're hoping for, the people you're praying for, they are not lost. They are waiting for the clarity of your purpose. When your life is aligned with what you were born to do, everything you need begins to move toward you, the right doors, the right connections, the right timing. Not because you chase them, but because they are magnetically drawn to a life of purpose. But this is where many people get it wrong. They chase money without discovering mission. They pursue success without understanding assignment. They ask for increase without knowing what it's for. So even when they do get provision, they waste it. Why? Because provision without purpose leads to destruction. Purpose answers the question, why am I here? And once that question is settled, every other area of life begins to align. You stop wasting time on distractions. You stop investing energy in things that have nothing to do with your destiny. You become focused, intentional, disciplined, and when you live like that, provision starts showing up. Not to bless your comfort, but to empower your calling. The reason some people are stuck is not because life is unfair, it's because they haven't defined their purpose. Purpose is the difference between existing and living. It is the difference between movement and meaning. When you live without purpose, everything becomes a struggle. You work hard but see little fruit. You make money but feel empty. You chase relationships but never feel understood, because only purpose can make sense of life's chaos. If you're still wondering where your provision is, stop asking for more and start asking why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why were you born in this generation? Why do you carry the passions and burdens that you do? Why do certain problems bother you more than others? These aren't random feelings, they are clues. Clues that point you to your design, and once you discover your design, you'll stop trying to copy everyone else's destiny. Provision is attracted to originality. It is not interested in imitation. That's why purpose is personal. Your calling won't look like anyone else's, and your provision won't show up in the places everyone else looks. It will show up when you walk in authenticity. You were not created to beg your way through life. You were created to bring something to the earth that no one else can. And when you commit to bringing it, heaven and earth will conspire to resource you. Doors will open. People will call. Opportunities will appear. Not because you manipulated the system, but because the system recognizes a person on purpose. When you read the lives of great men and women, those who changed the world, they weren't chasing fame. They weren't begging for support. They were consumed by purpose. They were committed to solving problems. They were driven by vision, and as they walked in purpose, the resources came, investors came, partners came, wisdom came, strength came. They were not chasing provision. They were walking in alignment. You must stop trying to chase the things that were meant to follow you. You don't chase provision, you chase purpose, and provision will chase you. Many people pray for God to bless their plans, but God doesn't bless plans. He blesses purpose, and until you align with your purpose, you'll always struggle to find provision. But the moment you submit to purpose, the blessing flows. Not because you earned it, but because purpose demands it. Purpose is powerful because it gives you direction. It eliminates confusion. It gives your energy a target. It gives your pain a reason. It gives your struggle meaning. And when you find meaning, you can endure anything. Purpose is what allows you to go through fire and not burn. It is what gives you the strength to keep going when everyone else quits. Purpose is the reason you wake up with passion, even when life is heavy. And here's the best part. Your purpose already has everything it needs built into it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to compete with anyone. The provision is already assigned. But it is waiting, not for your ambition, but for your alignment. So stop asking, when will my time come? And start asking, am I walking in what I was born to do? Because once you answer that, time is no longer your enemy, it becomes your servant. Provision is not your problem. Clarity of purpose is, and once purpose becomes clear, provision will never be far behind, because purpose always attracts provision. There is a season in every person's life that feels quiet. Nothing big is happening, no recognition, no breakthrough, no major doors opening. It feels like you're being overlooked. You see others being celebrated, elevated, promoted. And you wonder, what about me? You pray, you prepare, you stay faithful, but still silence. Let me tell you something that can change your perspective forever. That silent season is not punishment. It is preparation. It is not a delay. It is design. The silent season is strategic. In the natural world, silence is never empty. The most significant things happen in silence. Seeds grow underground in silence. Babies develop in the womb in silence. Foundations for buildings are laid deep in the earth, where no one can see them, no one applauds them, no one celebrates them, but without those unseen moments, nothing that follows can stand. So if you feel hidden right now, don't resent it. Use it. The silent season is where your roots go deep. It's where your character is built. It's where your motives are purified. It's where your identity is secured. In the noise of promotion, there is no time to form who you are. In the busyness of public success, you can easily lose yourself. That's why life gives you silence first, so you are strong enough to carry what's coming later. Too many people want the spotlight without building stamina. They want the microphone before they master their message. They want visibility before they learn vulnerability. So when success comes, it crushes them. They weren't ready for the pressure. They weren't trained for the responsibility. They didn't know how to handle the criticism, the weight, the expectations. Why? Because they skipped the silent season. You cannot afford to waste your hidden years. That is where your future is being formed. Stop complaining about being unseen and start building in the dark. Learn when no one is watching. Pray when no one is asking. Practice when no one is applauding, because soon the season will shift. and when it does, the world will not give you time to prepare. They will expect you to be ready. The silent season is where your habits are shaped, your disciplines are formed, your confidence is rooted, not in performance but in purpose. It's where you learn to do what's right even when there's no reward. That's where integrity is born, not when people are looking, but when they're not. It's easy to do great things when everyone is cheering, but can you be faithful when no one is clapping? That's the real test. What you do in silence determines how you handle sound. If you don't conquer the private battles, you'll be exposed in the public ones. If you don't learn to lead yourself in the quiet, you'll misuse power when the spotlight comes. That's why you must embrace the season that forces you to slow down, to reflect, to grow from the inside out. It may feel like you're behind, but you're not. You're being built differently. You're being equipped with strength that others skipped over. You're developing endurance, patience, discernment, and those are not wasted traits. They are rare ones, because when everything starts moving fast, and it will be the silent season that makes you steady. When others are panicking, you'll be grounded. When others are reacting, you'll respond with wisdom, because you've already faced the fire privately. Don't mistake silence for stagnation. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean there isn't growth. A tree doesn't shoot up overnight. It takes months, sometimes years, of unseen work before it breaks through the surface. But once it does, it grows quickly. Not because it's lucky, but because the foundation was deep. Your silent season is not a waste. It's not a curse. It's not a sign you missed your chance. It's a divine space for development, a sacred gap between calling and commission, between vision and visibility. Use it to become unshakable, to master your craft, to deal with your fears, to heal from your past, to listen to your own voice before others speak into it. Some people rush out of their silent season too soon. They force opportunities, they push for attention, they chase platforms, and when they get what they thought they wanted, it exposes everything they didn't prepare for. It's better to grow slowly and last long than to rise quickly and collapse under the weight. There's a reason champions train in silence. There's a reason armies prepare before the battle. There's a reason the most important developments happen in hidden places. It's not because they are less valuable. It's because they are too valuable to be exposed too soon. So if you're in a silent season, don't curse it. Thank it. You're not behind. You're being made. The silence is shaping you for something louder, something greater, something that won't just excite people but impact them. And when your time comes, and it will, you won't have to chase the stage. The stage will call for you because you didn't waste your silence. You worked in it, you grew in it, you allowed it to do what it was designed to do, prepare you for what's coming next. Everybody talks about the future, everyone wants success, everyone wants progress. But the truth is, the future does not belong to those who simply wish for it. It does not belong to the talented alone. It does not belong to the dreamers, the talkers, or the planners. The future belongs to the disciplined. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. It is the force that takes dreams out of your imagination and plants them into reality. Without discipline, you will always have potential but never see progress. You will have ideas that never manifest. You will start things you never finish. Discipline is what separates the person who is inspired from the person who is effective. Too many people live inspired but never transformed. They attend every seminar, they read every book, they take notes on everything, but their lives never move forward because they never apply the principles consistently. Discipline is not about what you know, it's about what you do over and over again, even when it's uncomfortable. Discipline is not exciting, it's not glamorous, it's not what people post about on social media, but it's what builds empires, families, ministries, and legacies. Talent can get you attention, but only discipline will sustain your position. Discipline is what gets you up when you feel like sleeping. It's what keeps you working when no one is clapping. It's what makes you study when distractions call your name. The future doesn't belong to the distracted. It belongs to those who can say no to what is easy and yes to what is necessary. When you look at the lives of successful people, the one common trait they share is not luck or background or connections. It's discipline. They have routines, they have habits. They've trained themselves to do what must be done whether they feel like it or not. They don't wait for motivation. They live by commitment. The problem with many people is that they've made discipline optional. They treat it like a suggestion. They think success is about moments of greatness, but it's not. Success is about consistency, and consistency is the child of discipline. You cannot master anything you don't commit to daily. If you only work when you feel inspired, you will never produce anything lasting. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline is a decision. There's a cost to discipline, yes. It requires sacrifice, it demands structure. It limits your options, but that cost is nothing compared to the price of regret. Regret is what you feel when you see someone living the life you could have had if you had been more disciplined. Regret is what shows up when your potential passes its expiration date. Discipline is your personal responsibility. No one can give it to you. No one can force it on you. You have to choose it, and you have to choose it daily. The future is not waiting for the person who talks the loudest. It's waiting for the one who works the longest. Not the one who starts fast, but the one who finishes strong. The world gives opportunities to those it can trust, and discipline is what makes you trustworthy. When you show that you can manage your time, your energy, your money, your thoughts, then life begins to open up to you. Doors that were closed begin to swing open, not because of luck, but because you've proven that you can handle what's behind them. Without discipline, success will destroy you. The pressure will be too great. The distractions will be too many. The temptation to settle or self-destruct will be too strong. But when you are disciplined, you become stable. You build strength in your soul. You become someone who can be trusted with influence, with leadership, with authority. People who live without discipline always blame others for their results. They blame the system, the environment, their family, their past. But those who live with discipline take ownership of their growth. They know the secret. The external world reflects the internal one. If you want to change your future, start by changing your habits. The future is shaped by what you do in the present, not what you say about the past. Every breakthrough is preceded by discipline. Every elevation comes after a season of self-control. Every miracle, every answered prayer, every open door, behind it is a person who remained faithful when it was easier to quit. Discipline is what turns your someday into today. It's what turns intentions into impact. You cannot access the future with a lazy spirit. The undisciplined mind will always sabotage divine opportunity. The undisciplined person will always stay in cycles of starting and stopping, of rising and falling, of dreaming and doubting. But the disciplined move forward. They are not perfect, but they are persistent. They are not always loud, but they are always locked in. They fall like everyone else, but they get up faster, learn quicker, and grow deeper. You have to decide what kind of person you will be. Will you be a person who talks about goals? Or will you be a person who lives them? Will you be the one who watches others build their future? Or will you be the one who builds yours with focused discipline? The future does not belong to the emotional, the impulsive, or the lazy. It belongs to those who wake up every day and make the hard choices. Those who keep showing up, keep sharpening their skills, keep saying no to distraction and yes to development. Because the future belongs to the disciplined. Change is one of life's guarantees. You cannot pray it away. You cannot delay it indefinitely. You cannot hide from it. Change comes, whether you're ready or not. It shows up in your relationships, your career, your health, your nation, your finances, your dreams. Change does not knock politely. It doesn't ask for your permission. It doesn't wait for your approval. Change invades, it disrupts. It forces you to move, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes geographically. And yet most people resist it. We've been conditioned to be comfortable. We cling to the familiar even when it's broken. We hold on to systems that no longer work, relationships that no longer grow, jobs that no longer inspire, environments that slowly drain the life out of us. not because they're good, but because they're familiar. We'd rather stay in a predictable prison than walk by faith into an unfamiliar future. But here's the truth. Change doesn't care about your comfort. It comes to push you out of convenience and into calling. When seasons shift, you can't afford to stay stuck in what used to be. Too many people are trapped in memories of how things were, while the future is calling them into something greater. But they don't move, not because they lack the ability, but because they lack the willingness to embrace change. Change doesn't wait for you to get ready. It forces you to become ready. Life will always test your flexibility. You may not control when change comes, but you do control how you respond. You can resist it and be broken by it, or you can adapt to it and be built by it. Change is not your enemy. It's your escort to the next level. It arrives to clear out the old and make room for the new, but if you fear it, you'll miss it. If you fight it, you'll forfeit what it came to bring. Growth requires disruption. Evolution demands exit. You cannot evolve while holding tightly to outdated habits, expired relationships, and expired thinking. Change comes to deliver you, but first it will offend you. It will strip you of things you thought you needed. It will pull you out of places you were proud of. It will challenge your control, and that is uncomfortable, but necessary. Comfort is a silent killer of destiny. If you only do what feels safe, you'll never do what's significant. And change is the alarm clock that wakes you up from the coma of comfort. It says there is more in you, there is more for you, but to reach it you must move. You must let go of the fear that comes with not knowing every step. Change never shows you the full picture. It just gives you the next step. But if you refuse to take it, life will pass you by. You'll be stuck in the past while others move forward, and make no mistake. Change will not stop to explain itself. It will not negotiate. It will not apologize. It will keep moving. And if you want to grow, you must keep moving with it. Some changes will be planned. Others will hit you without warning. A phone call, a diagnosis, a job loss, a betrayal, a global shift. In those moments you must choose, collapse or adapt. You cannot always control the change, but you can control what it reveals in you. Will you panic or will you pivot? Will you complain or will you create? Will you freeze in fear or will you rise in faith? Every season of change carries within it the seed of opportunity, but only the discerning can find it. Change reveals who is prepared and who is playing. It exposes what is real and what was built on routine. You don't need to fear change. You need to prepare for it. The reason it catches many people off guard is because they built their lives on something temporary. They invested in trends instead of truth. They followed feelings instead of principles, and when change hit, they had no anchor. But when you live by purpose, change becomes your ally. It becomes your signal that it's time to expand. It becomes your reminder that you were never meant to settle. Change brings growth, maturity, and expansion, but only to those who receive it. If you keep trying to go back to what used to be, you'll miss what could be. Some people are waiting for life to go back to normal. But what if normal was never your best? What if what's ahead is greater than what's behind? Change is not taking from you. It's trying to show you who you really are. You cannot walk into the future while dragging the past. You must be willing to shed the skin of your former self to step into the strength of your future self. Stop asking for change to slow down. Start asking for the courage to rise up. You were not born to stay the same. You were born to transform, to transition, to grow in stages, and every stage requires a shedding. Every level demands a letting go. Change will keep coming. The question is not, will it come? The question is, will you be ready, because change does not wait for permission. It moves on schedule, and those who move with it rise. Those who resist it remain behind, so when change knocks, don't run. Open the door, step through it, and trust that what's ahead is worth everything it took to leave what's behind. Opportunities don't wait for you to be comfortable. They don't pause until you feel confident. They don't announce themselves in perfect packaging. They come suddenly, quietly, often disguised as problems. They show up in the middle of your busy life, and they don't care whether you feel prepared. Life doesn't slow down to see if you're ready, and if you're not, you'll miss it. Being unprepared is more dangerous than being unlucky. Most people think missed opportunities are about bad timing, but more often the truth is they weren't ready. They hadn't done the internal work. They hadn't developed the discipline. They hadn't matured their mindset. And so when the door opened, they stood still, afraid, uncertain, distracted. And the moment passed. You don't rise to the level of your hopes. You fall to the level of your readiness. Readiness is not about waiting passively. It's about preparing aggressively. It's about acting like the thing you've been praying for could arrive today. Because it just might, life has a way of shifting fast. One meeting, one introduction, one opportunity, one open door, one email, one phone call, and everything can change, but only for the one who is ready. Readiness is not about perfection. It's about preparation. It's about consistency. It's about being faithful over the little so you're trusted with the much. It's about practicing when no one is watching. About mastering the routine when there's no reward. About studying, refining, growing, praying. Not because anyone is clapping, but because you know what's coming requires it. Preparation feels invisible until it becomes undeniable. You work behind the scenes, you study in silence, you sacrifice in private, you train in the shadows, and then one day your moment comes, and when it does, you won't have time to go back and get ready. You'll either step into it fully prepared, or you'll step aside and watch someone else take the place that had your name on it. People love to talk about potential, but potential is useless if it's not paired with preparation. Potential without readiness is a promise unfulfilled. It's like owning land you never cultivate. Nothing will grow because nothing was planted. You can have the talent, you can have the gifting, but if you are not ready, you will forfeit the impact you were designed to make. Some people keep waiting for their big break, but if they were honest, they haven't been building. They've been waiting emotionally instead of working practically. They want to be discovered, but they haven't developed. They want to be elevated, but they haven't been consistent. And when opportunities do arrive, they're so out of rhythm that they miss it. Not because the door wasn't open, but because they weren't ready to walk through it. Opportunity respects preparation, and life has a funny way of testing you with small things before trusting you with big ones. If you're skipping the small assignments, you'll never qualify for the major ones. If you're sloppy in the background, you'll be overwhelmed in the spotlight. Readiness is what protects you from being exposed before you're matured. Sometimes we mistake delay for denial, but the delay is mercy. It's giving you time to get ready, because once the moment comes, you won't have time to prepare. You'll have to perform. That's not the time to be figuring things out. That's the time to execute, and only the ready can execute with excellence under pressure. If you've ever watched a race, the athletes don't get ready when the gun fires. They're already in position, already trained, already focused, because they know that when the moment comes, it comes fast. They don't control the start. They only control their preparation, and when it's time, they move. Your life works the same way. Destiny doesn't make appointments. It moves in windows. If you hesitate, it closes. If you fumble, it shifts, and someone else, someone who was ready, steps into the space you were meant to fill. Stop waiting for someone to tell you to get ready. Stop waiting for confirmation that you're supposed to prepare. The fact that you have breath, the fact that you have purpose, the fact that you have vision, that's confirmation enough. You don't wait to sharpen your sword when the battle begins. You sharpen it every day because you know the fight is coming. And don't confuse movement with readiness. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're prepared. Just because you're seen doesn't mean you're solid. Readiness is about structure, discipline, focus. It's what you've built when no one else was looking. There's a version of your life that only opens if you're ready. It's not about who you know. It's about what you've done when no one knew you. If you keep preparing, even in the shadows, your time will come. And when it comes, you won't have to chase it. It will fit you like a glove, because you've been molded for the moment. So build now, study now, learn now, serve now, pray now, because if you're not ready, you won't even recognize the opportunity when it comes. And worse, you'll be too distracted, too underdeveloped, too afraid to respond. But if you are ready, you won't miss it. So here is the truth. Life is not waiting for you. The shift is already happening. The world is turning fast. Change is moving swiftly. Opportunities are rising and disappearing in seconds, and only those who are prepared, who are disciplined, who understand seasons, who have trained in the dark, only those will step into what was always theirs. The future does not belong to the comfortable. It does not belong to the distracted. It does not belong to the gifted but lazy, the inspired but inactive. The future belongs to the ready, and readiness is not an accident. It's a decision. So I leave you with this charge. Don't just wait for what's coming. Prepare for it. Sharpen your mind. Strengthen your habits. Set your house in order. Refuse to be caught unprepared when the moment arrives. Because it will come, and when it does, may it find you standing tall, focused, equipped, and ready to walk through the door with no hesitation. Be ready. It's coming fast.